Zani, please. Is this? Yes, it is. Look.
All right. What's the first thing on today's to-do list?
Building time. So this is my Zani, and she's the most powerful Zani you can expect from an F2P that saved up or simply got lucky, or a dolphin. I am using her signature weapon with the Eternal Radiance set. I have Capitanius as the main echo because it's simply better than Morning Aches thanks to his heavy attack damage bonus, especially on Zani. And I have almost all the echoes with crit rate and crit damage and a healthy amount of energy charge with the exception of Capitanius. 20 selectors for the main stat later, I still only have crit rate on him. Yeah, life is not fair. Skills 6, 10, 10, 6. I could still upgrade her intro, but frankly it's not worth. And sequences, no sequence. With that out of the way, let's get to testing. Her combo is very easy. Intro into skill, into basic attack, into skill again, then use her liberation and start spamming basic attacks. When you see her use the ground pound move 2 times, just like this, she got stuck in midair, but yeah, that pound, then you know she has to end her sand state, so cast the liberation again. At any point you can use her echo or the skill for parry, however it is a DPS low, so don't do it unless necessary. I first took her into Hazard Tower, and yep, I am aware there is a buff specific for Zani here. There is nothing I can do about this. All the new characters have it. It is Kuro's way to say pull, but in any case I am using Shorekeeper and Phoebe for Zani's team because, well, they are her best options and her only options. Phoebe here applying Spectrofrazzle that gets converted into Zani stack, switching to Zani. Too bad that I have skill issue and I can't show the parry here, but she has parry mechanics inbuilt in her kit. Everything is just dead and slam dunk, 131,000 damage. What I want to point right here is look how fast the vibration strength goes down for the boss. Just half of Zani's liberation left and she was able to get the boss down. That's actually crazy, you know. She's able to deplete even more if you are able to trigger her parry. But in this video, at least for the tower, I am unable to because, well, the boss is too weak. I can't believe I'm saying this, but it is the case. Anyway, again Phoebe switching to Zani, liberation. I don't really need to use her skill all that much. I have enough forte, and again, the boss is down, vibration strength down, I am going ham on him, and I managed to finish everything in a little over 1 minute. If I was a little better, I could have probably gotten a time under 60 seconds, but what can you do? This is consistent with the timers I got for Carlotta and Phoebe at their launches, but I was already expecting this. I was expecting Zani to be kind of like a Phoebe 2.0, an absolute beast in Tower of Adversity, and even in Whimpering Wastes, I was expecting her to be superior to Phoebe simply because she's able to turn those DOT stacks into direct damage, and she's not, her damage is not tied on the DOT being on the enemy like in Phoebe's case. But I was not expecting her to be at the level of Camellia. I was thinking along the lines of Pride, tier 0 in Tower of Adversity, tier 0.5 in Whimpering Wastes. But I was wrong. I was so damn wrong, and I'm not afraid to admit it. I just look at this. At this point, like what, 10-20 seconds have passed and I am already at 1,300 points. Everything was simply evaporating. I was like shocked. I was just playing, going along with the motions, and I look at the score and I'm like, what happened? Why is it that hard? Hey, look at my Zani simply demolishing those mushrooms. She's shredding them. One hit and the mushroom is dead. Then I go into the second wave and I still have her liberation. I'm going through 4 of those hat dudes at the same time. Then I am crushing on them all and combining with Shorekeeper's AoE. I was simply blown away by how powerful she was in Whimpering Wastes. Absolutely a monster. It was like watching a truck enter into a toy store. Well, wait, bad comparison. Cut it. A truck entering, well, you get the idea. She was just doing her own thing. Now, this is not my first run with her, I gotta to say. This is like my third because of the RNG of the mobs. Some of the smaller critters like that, those drakes were simply just going their own ways. I was looking at them and I was like, why are you running? Why are you damn running? So I had to repeat it a few times just to get the rotation down, to make sure those guys stay put. But I managed to get this absolutely banger of a run. Look at this, 4,000 points already. Can I get it? Can I get to 4,500 until the timer runs out? Can Zani complete the entire Whimpering Wastes by herself? And the answer is yes. The answer is yes. 4,600 points, 650 points. And I know what you are thinking. It is the token. The token is broken. Well, it is, but it is not the only reason for Zani's success. In my best run with Camellia, I also used this token with her and I only managed to get 3,800 points. Only. Yeah, ignore this 2,000 here. I was simply goofing around, you know. I was FKing just to get the second half. I did not bother about it and I was playing around with the tokens. But yeah, and you might be wondering, well, but what is the investment of each of those teams? They are equal in investment. They all have their signature weapon and all of them don't have any sequences, with the exception of Verina, even though sequence 1 does absolutely nothing. And then, after testing her in Whimpering Wastes and Tower of Adversity, I decided to try the new hologram boss Fleurdelys. It was an absolute disaster. In any case, in my opinion, Zani at this moment is one of the top 3 DPSs in the game, together with Camellia and Carlotta, and I dare say it might be the strongest DPS at the moment. So I feel like I have to wait one more cycle just to make sure that it was not just a coincidence or stars aligned or something. I don't know. I am trying to find a reason why Zani was able to beat the entire Whimpering Wastes by herself. How the heck did I get 4,600 points with her? And it's not like it was a one-time thing. I was getting constantly 4,300, 4,400. I am speechless. And the token is general. It's not like it was completely tailored for her.